7 habits of highly effective listeners. Listening to foreign language speakers and understanding what is said is often a challenge for language learners. Listening comprehension can be impaired by lack of vocabulary, liaison, elision, ellipsis, and polysemy. This video discusses useful strategies for listening at basic, intermediate, and advanced levels. Combine active with passive listening. Active listening entails listening with intensity. Language learners should form the habit of concentrating on both the message and the medium of communication. Active listening requires learners to listen with empathy. In other words, listeners should get into the speaker's shoes and take responsibility for the completeness of the message. Hybrid listening. Foreign language learners should alternate between the techniques of listening for the main point or big picture and listening for the essential elements of information, EEIs. EEIs refer to the what, who, when, where, why, and how of the messages being communicated. These specific details in oral messages are crucial for communication. Paraphrasing what has been said. Language learners should form the habit of paraphrasing what they hear. In other words, they should summarize what the speaker has said. This is an effective strategy for retaining the gist of the oral message. Learners should make it a routine to predict what the speaker is about to say based on what they've heard. Most importantly, they should fall back on context clues to unravel the meaning of unfamiliar words. Skim listening. It is of critical importance for language learners to practice skim listening from the onset in order to train in the art of weeding out redundant pieces of information. Listeners should resist the temptation to stop listening when they stumble on unknown words. It is good practice to watch out for ambiguity and redundancy in listening passages. The repetition cycle. One effective way to gain confidence in oneself and be able to listen and comprehend native speakers of target languages is to enrich one's vocabulary bank. This can be done by resorting to the technique of the repetition cycle. This strategy enables language learners to practice listening in the form of a cycle. That is, listen and read, listen and write, listen and speak. Shadowing. Shadowing speakers of native languages has proven to be a useful technique for grappling with listening comprehension problems. Language learners should form the habit of shadowing native speakers. There are 2 levels of shadowing, namely beginner and advanced shadowing. Learners should start off at the beginner level and then proceed to the advanced level as they become more and more comfortable with the language they are learning. Dictation. Dictation enables language learners to master not just the orthography, but also the morphology of the target language. Learners should work closely with their tutors and instructors in practicing dictation. Instant error correction is highly recommended for the purpose of improvement. Dictation prepares language learners for active listening in real-life communication. In a nutshell, listening should be conceived as an engaging, methodic, and sustained activity.